Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am doing a 100 patterned paper page today, and this is using up the leftovers of the paper that I chose for a previous layout because I wanted it used up and out of my patterned paper challenge. So I'm creating another Easter layout using these beautiful colours on this paper. I didn't want to add it to the scrap pile. So what I'm doing is I have cut it into horizontal strips. I'm going to use it as, and I'm actually going to use the brand new egg die that I got because I'm also having to meet the week challenge on the 100-page pattern papers, and it said that I had to use something new, so that's what I'm doing here. It also said I needed to use a cut-apart card, which I used 2 on here. It says something grey or silver, and that's going to be my new values on there. I needed to use a border punch, so you can see the border punch here. Mind you, when I do my layout, it's almost not visible, but it is part of there. And then it said I also need to use a pinch of metal. So that's going on there with brads and then thickers because that will be my title. So I like how this comes together. These photos were taken actually on Easter Monday. We went out to Pioneer Village and the Easter Bunny was there. He came down the main street, so it was perfectly timed because I just needed to get a Easter Bunny hug, and he was so funny. Like, my children were like, Mum, really? But as soon as they said, anyone else want a photo with the Easter Bunny? And I came running out of the house that I was in at the time and said, I do. And the Easter Bunny got out of the golf cart and came out and gave me a big hug, which was quite cute because he didn't do that for the other kids, but he did for me. Sorry there, just had a bit of a coughing fit. Had to go off screen for a bit. All right, so I've put down my border punch layer there that I wanted to do, and I've cut out these eggs using my new metal die. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix and match, and I'm going to slide them down. Now, you've probably seen this pattern type of idea done with circles on lots of layouts. I know I have. So I thought, well, I'll do it with the eggs. So I'm just sliding them down and creating a visual pattern down at the bottom of the layout here over that beautiful checkered plaid. I love it. Look at it. The colours are just stunning. So I'm going to put those down here, and they're just going to be a bit of a feature on the layout. Draw the eye around, and also a point for cluster to sit. I'm also going to do some faux stitching into these so that they don't just look like they're sitting there doing nothing. That's also important when you add things to your layout, that they do have a purpose, besides being beautiful and decorative. And that's what they really are mainly, is just that decorative addition to your layout. So I'm just putting them into the 4 panels there, imagining that my page is being divided into quarters, and I am using a ruler for this part, which is pretty unusual for me. I didn't freehand it. I wanted it nice and straight. And then I'm putting the dots down it like it's a running stitch. So it's just a bit of a faux stitching technique. And it looks like I have sewn that onto the layout. Now, I really should sew it actually, but that requires me setting up the sewing machine and having a space to have it set up in. So that will be my next job in my craft room, bedroom processing. So I have got 3 photos for this layout. There it is here. They're a series of photos that my daughter took while the Easter Bunny gave me a big hug. And I just love how these turned out. They are so cute. And look at how bright and beautiful that day was. It was a lovely sunny day. It was the last one of the holidays before this horrible rainy on again, off again weather happened. Although I shouldn't complain. It is, after all, autumn, and we should not be having hot summer temperature days like that Monday was. All right, I needed to use a cut apart card, and there's one there, and it says you are some bunny special, and so that's going on there. And then I've cut out all these flowers. Oh, pardon me, I'm wheezing a bit. Got all these flowers that I cut out with a new die as well. That was another new thing. And I have layered them up, and I'm going to finish them with brads. So that's my touch of metal on there for this challenge. So and also it's using up brads that I have thousands of sitting all over the place. So I'm glad that I'm using them. This time I'm not actually going to push them through my layout. I'm just going to have them sit on the top of the layout, which is fine because it's adding a bit of a lumpy bumpy feel to the overall feel, which is okay, and I like that process as well. So I've got a mixture of the greens and the pinks in my brads because that's what I want to include. You can probably hear a noise in the background here, and I'm sorry about that, but that's because I'm multitasking. I am voiceovering this video and prepping my fussy cutting for my next video, which is really funny. Oh, poor little thing. And so I'm just going to do that last bit of cut. Sorry, I really am annoying, I know, and I'll stop. So there was the next part to add the thickers, and I'm adding in my title here. And it is, I really wasn't sure where I was going to put it, and then I saw that big empty space, so I thought if I put my title down the bottom, I'm going to have this big empty space at the top. What am I going to do with it? Because, you know, I can't do empty space. I hate having lots of white space on my layouts. I don't know why. It's just a weird idiosyncrasy of mine. I know lots of people do beautiful white open spaces on their layouts, and they look fantastic. And then I think, oh, I love that. And then when I try to do it, I just go, yeah, no, I can't do it. So I've cut out the bunny from that cut apart, and I'm just having peeking out over the top of my layout there with the bunny photos, and that just fits in that space there. And now it's not negative space for me. I know. It's a me problem. It's not anybody else's problem. It's a me problem. I'm just going to straighten that photo a little bit so that I can now put in the title, as I said. So see, now that flower has a purpose for being there. It's got the bunny there. That cluster sits better. So I had to map that out so my title would go in correctly, and this says perfectly, and I'm going to say I'll call it perfectly timed hugs. And these little thickers I got out of a clearance bin once. I think I paid $1 for the sheet, which was perfect, and I just love them. They are a great neutral colour, and they fit this perfectly as well. So perfectly timed, and the other beautiful thing is I'm using them up, which is great because they do need to be used. And as we all know, these stickers tend to lose their stickiness, so I will go off camera and I will put some glue in behind them because I don't want them falling off the layout. Now I'm just building up those florals there into 3 clusters, so I've got my different cluster points there. I do have a collection left over which I don't use on this layout, which is okay. I also added some foliage which I punched with my leaf punch and tucked in behind the flowers that you can see. And I'm finishing off with my Nouveau drops just to give it a taste of a metal colour or a grey, and so it's a bit of a both. It's a metallic grey, so with the Nouveau drops, and therefore I've met the criteria for the 100 paper challenge. And I know I'm way behind because this is week 3's challenge, so I hope to get a few more done very soon and catch up to all of the challenges that they have. And I just love how this has turned out. So quick and simple. Papers are now used up out of my 100 patterned papers, which I have had sitting in my collection for a very long time, now on layouts, now in the albums, and I am thrilled with how that turned out. So thanks for sticking with me. Here's some close-ups of them. You can see how beautifully bright those colours are, how well they all suited together, and I just love how it turned out. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope there's something here that inspires you to get scrappy today. Please scrap lift away. That's what it's all about. Happy scrapping until next time, and here's my next video recommendation for you. I'll see you over in the next one.